Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all today. Rep your city. Of course, I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. I just finished watching Kanye West interview by DJ Akademiks. I'm going to talk about that. Buffalo, New York is in the building. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is here. Good to see you all. Everybody on Facebook, what's going on? Everybody on Twitch, good to see you. Yes, indeed. We have Indianapolis in the building. We have Columbia, South Carolina in the building. Jackson, Mississippi. Buffalo, New York. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is here. New Jersey is here. Atlanta, Georgia is here and surrounding areas. Richmond, California is here. Greensboro, North Carolina, very historical places here. My brother More Power is here representing San Francisco, California. Fresno, California is in the building. Yeah. I try not to talk about Kanye too much. Jackson, Mississippi is here. Dade County is in the building. Yeah. Yeah, I watched that. It was rough. We're going to talk about it, though. Hope you're all doing great. Hanging in there. The weather's a little wild. Everybody in the southeast, are you all right? It was a little rough last night on the East Coast. It's a little rough today. The weather is acting up. Make sure you run those likes up. Share and subscribe to the channel. Welcome to all my subscribers, my new subscribers. Good to see you. Let me talk about this Kanye situation and probably throw a little bit of Chicago history in there. I watched the interview. It was disturbing. It was very disturbing. Very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Good to see you. The beautiful lady lioness is here. It's a short interview because Kanye had to go somewhere. Sad in some ways. Brooklyn, New York is in the building. Shout out to everybody in New York. Everything's good, Earl. It was strange. Sad in some ways. I'm not sure, Michael. I'm not sure. It was pretty short. I watched it in its entirety. Much respect to DJ Academics. He did a great job letting him talk. He didn't interrupt him. Yeah, yeah, he didn't interrupt him. What's going on, Harlem World? Good to see you, brother. I can't really help. I can't help Kanye. So yeah, I can't help Kanye. Kanye is a billionaire, and he won't allow people to be around him. So he won't allow you to be around him. Okay, he's pretty much a solo person. He bounces around a lot. He travels a lot. His mind is all over the place. He's a little bit of like a mental illness and genius mixed together. I think the car accident, most brain specialists will tell you if you have damage to this front part of your brain, it will cause long term damage that sometimes get worse as you get older. So I think ever since he had that car accident, I think he's got some brain damage. That's the most important part. It's right around here in the front. And if you get bruising on your brain right there, expert has said that's going to cause you lifetime problems that will get worse when you get older. You know. So we had that accident years ago, before he did Through the Wire, right? When his mouth was wired. So that's when he had that accident. So he's been deteriorating mentally slowly. He isn't losing any of his genius, but he snaps in and out. And medication will make it worse. Because medication, if you're right here mentally and you take medication, you'll go here. If you miss medication, you'll go here. You'll go higher than where you were. If you take medication, you'll go here. If you miss it, you'll go here. And if you take medication, you'll go here. And if you miss it, you'll go there. This is something I experienced personally, but I won't be talking about that in my book because it's somebody else's business. But I did experience that personally. So the medicine, from what I've seen, makes it worse if you miss it. Some kind of way it makes it worse when you miss it. That you won't go back to where you are. If you're right here, if you're right here and you mix your medicine, you go right here, you won't go back down here when you take it. You'll only go back down this much. But the next time you miss it, you won't go here. The next time you miss it, you'll go here. So every time you miss it, you go crazier and crazier and crazier. This is just my analysis. This is not facts. This is what I analyze personally. And so it was difficult to watch it. I don't like Kanye. And we've tolerated it, but a lot of people in Chicago, we don't like Kanye. He's not, you know, people will go support him if he come. Yeah, but I don't really like Kanye. You know, he's a genius though. He did a lot. What's your name? Fergari. Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done more than you've done. So he's done a lot. Fergari done way more than what you've achieved over here trolling. Well, you need to get some help. But we don't do trolls over here. Take a little 25-minute, 30-minute break. Get yourself together. Okay. When you come back, don't be trolling. I don't do trolls. I'll go smoke a cigarette or something. Drink a little coffee. Come back in 30 minutes. So I watched it, and he came in with the black Ku Klux Klan outfit on. He's really good at trolling, you know. But with his mental instability and trolling, I don't think it's healthy for him. Geniuses already have a hard time just being genius, just being a genius. So geniuses are already, you know, borderline crazy because their mind, so much information comes through their mind. So geniuses automatically, without the brain trauma he had from the car accident, geniuses are already, a little funny. And so with the car accident, it makes it far, far worse. You know? So it was kind of hard watching him, basically almost committing it, putting himself in a situation where he could be committed to a mental institution. I think that's one reason he moves real quick and leaves the country because he probably fears being apprehended and, you know what I'm saying? Like they did Wendy Williams. Now, he's not a black racist or nothing like that. He's just all over the place. He's just all over the place. He's not a race. He's not, nothing he say is consistent. So you can't categorize him by anything he says. If you listen to this conversation, it's over here, and it's over there, and it's over here, and it's over there. So now he's not a racist. He just has issues. He's not a racist. Now, Trump is a racist. Elon Musk is a racist, but not Kanye. Is it shock value? No, no, not at all. Because this conversation is not cohesive. So, you know what I'm saying? People that do shock value, they're still. Watch it, Orlando? He's all over the place. Like it's definitely not gonna have any shock value. I mean, he was all over the place. I mean, he wore the robe for shock value, but his conversation didn't even match his plans. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever his whatever his mind was at when he wanted to wear the robe, his mind won't stay there. his mind won't stay there. You say, watch his interview with the Tate brothers. He seemed normal. Well, uh, tread on, tread on them. Uh, that type of mental stuff, it comes and goes. Okay, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. So it's not like a consistent way he's going to act. It's not going to be consistent. It's going to. He's able to. He's able. It goes, and he's able to make clothes and concentrate on designing. So it comes and goes. It's not. There's nothing that he could. He can't really do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go anywhere and chill because he's a genius too. So he's a busybody. So um, imagine being a genius that's all over the place and having head trauma. You see what I'm saying? Like a regular person that has head trauma, they're going to go in and out too. But when they go in, when they go out, they're just going to be normal. Well, Kanye's not normal without the head injuries. He's a genius, so his mind is going to be all over the place anyway. So when you take that type of mind and you add head trauma, it's all over the place. Marcus, I don't think you have good analytical skills. So you obviously don't have. If you can't see he has mental issues, then what your statement is invalid, Marcus. You're just showing that you don't have uh, psychiatric ability to analyze a patient. You don't know what you're looking at. But anybody that knows about the mind and stuff, look at him. You could tell that he's schizophrenic. Um, then Marcus, you're totally overlooking a car accident. Like Kanye came this close to dying. When he did through the wire, his mouth was. And you don't listen, Marcus, because as I said, uh, experts have said if you have bruising to the front of your brain, it will cause mental illness. For the intelligent people. Okay, which is what I prefer. When we come over here, and I try to show you all something. It's very important for you to listen and learn. Those that don't want to listen and learn and want to argue, put up $5,000. So let's say you bet me $5,000. You would have to pay me right now. Here's your proof. Yes, bruising or damage to the frontal lobe of the brain, which is located at the front of the brain, can lead to a range of mental and behavioral changes, including personality changes, difficult with planning and organization, and sometimes even mood and anxiety disorders. So, right now, if you doubted me, you'd have to run me my bread. And all of that, he did all of that in the interview. Everything I just read, he did all of that. He did all of that. Everything that said in that interview. Like, In that interview, he did everything I read in that interview. I'm here to raise awareness of people. I'm not doing just internet trolling. I don't do that. This is for high level, intelligent type conversations. If we don't got a high level, intelligent conversation, you give me PTSD and I start calling you all out your name. Let's look at it again. Yes, bruising or damage to the frontal lobe of the brain. And when he had the car accident, he hit the front of his head. That's why his mouth was wired. He almost died. He made the song Through the Wire with his mouth wired. That was like his first big hit record. Through the Wire, because he was rapping through the wire. And it says it can indeed lead to a range of mental behavioral changes, including personality changes. If you watch the interview, his personality changed at least 6 or 7 times, right? Difficult with planning and organization. You can see how he's just all over the place, flying all over the world and stuff like that. It takes him a while to really settle, to probably get his projects off the ground. And sometimes even mood and anxiety disorder. If you watch that, he was going into a positive mode, then he was going into a rage, he was going into hate, jealousy, just a wide variety of things. You can see his jealousy of Kendrick, because I'm like, well, why is he trashing Kendrick? Anybody seen that part with Kendrick? And he doesn't really like Drake, but because of Kendrick getting all this attention, he was standing up for Drake. That's like, you don't even like Drake. So he was like, Drake is better. And I was like, wow, and he was like, Kendrick don't even have no hit records. It was crazy. And he was like, I'm the king. Y'all didn't see that? Like he said, I'm the king. He's like, and I'm the best. It was way crazy. Anybody watch it, you see, well, I'm the king and none of y'all. I'm the best. My music is the best. And I'm the king. And I do everything. I design and everything. He was tripping. Okay, yeah, we I only do intelligent conversations over here. So what's your name? Larry. Okay, Larry, take 30 minutes, go smoke a Newport or something and come back when you mature. Okay. I don't do Larry, I don't do ignorance. I mean, I don't your type of conversation is bad for my audience. We're trying to bring some intelligence here. Okay. I'm not doing the ignorant hood, you know. It's not like amateur night at the Apollo for bootleg comedians. Your jokes suck and you don't look too intelligent. But go smoke a Newport, get you some Wrigley gum, chew a couple sticks of gum, come back in 30 minutes, okay? And so it was kind of sad to watch it. Now, like I said, in Chicago, a lot of us, we don't like Kanye. Let me go through a little bit of history. Kanye was a little shorty. Everything he said was right. He is one of the best. He's one of the best producers ever in music. He's better than Dr. Dre and all. He's just phenomenal. But it wasn't what he was saying, it was the way he was saying it. And so Kanye, I don't like him. A lot of my comrades don't like him, but we do defend him. He's a homeboy. But he used to be young out in Riverdale. And the problem we got with Kanye is he doesn't give anybody, the people that made him, he doesn't give them any props. You know, it's people that we made him here. You know what I'm saying? He grew up under a situation that he doesn't want to. He never speaks up like Jay Boogie. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Like Jay Boogie is the one that was making clothes for the Brat and all of them when Kanye was just a little baby. And then he keeps on disrespecting Virgil. But Virgil, he's a West African. And MD are really the kings of Chicago clothing. Because they were the ones that sold everybody clothes. See, Virgil and MD, they didn't make clothes. They made our clothes. They sold everybody clothes. What a lot of people don't know is the West Africans are the ones up in France and Italy sewing all that Gucci and Louis Vuitton. It's not white men sewing that stuff. It's a couple of older white expert seamsters, but there's Africans up there that are sewing those clothes. And Virgil, and I don't got a picture, MD, were the ones that sold everybody's clothes. And the number one clothing maker in Chicago never made it. And this is the brother that, and his name is Michael Carter. That's the one on the left. I'm the one on the right. And my brethren on the left is the number one designer in Chicago. And was one of the ones that looked out for Kanye when he was in Riverdale, when he was a little boy. And the GDs, Michael was a GD, and the GDs looked out for Kanye. So everything Kanye got, he got it from Michael Carter. He got it from Virgil. And he got it from Don C. Shout out to Don C. But he don't give none of them no props. This is the real history. Anybody in Chicago see this say, ooh, Pharaoh giving them the business. Like the whole Chicago be like, tell them, bro. Don C. used to work at the plaza and at Ford City when we would go buy clothes. These are shorties. So when we used to go buy our clothes to get fly, Don C. worked at the clothing stores. Kanye made beats in the hood. Kanye wasn't into fashion at all. Kanye didn't get into fashion until he went to New York and seen the fashion district in New York. Kanye wasn't into fashion. Okay? Yeah, he worked at the Lark. Mm-hmm. When we would go up there and get leather jackets and stuff. And Michael Carter was the one making all them clothes, and he would design these clothes, and he would take them to Virgil and MD, and these African brothers would sew it from him, because Virgil stole a lot of Michael's color design and stuff, which, you know, we call him Selassie, which Selassie not too happy about that. When he seen Virgil, you know, get that break and took all his designs and all his coloring. You know what I'm saying? Kanye didn't do no Chicago people like he did, like he got did, because nobody in Chicago did nothing to him because he went to New York. He went to New York after Common went. Him and Common went up there. Nobody in Chicago did nothing to Kanye. Kanye didn't have nothing to do nothing to. Nobody in Chicago did nothing to Kanye. Chicago protected Kanye, kept the gangs off of him and stuff because he was like a nerd. Nobody cheated Kanye or did anything. Kanye robbed Chicago. Kanye always disrespected the city. The city that put him on. That's why we don't like Kanye. Kanye was over there in Riverdale. And he was working with payroll. On payroll's music. Rest in peace to payroll. And Kanye went up to New York and gave Jay-Z payroll whole album. Okay? Took payroll whole album. Gave it to Jay-Z. And Jay-Z rapped it exactly like payroll. Cadence and everything. Payroll, the one helped Jay-Z change the style. Jay-Z was rapping diggity, diggity, diggity. Nope. If you think I'm lying, go listen to this. I never change. Never, 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 never change. Go listen to Payroll Never Change and go listen to Jay-Z Never Change. That's how the Isaac Hayes got closed down there on Roosevelt when bottles got cracked over people's heads. Because of that. I ain't going to go into the details on Fulton and Gray, but yeah. I was stealing from the neighborhood, along with other things, relationship things that being protected by the GDs and associated with GDs. You know, Kanye was doing certain behavior. Because if he was sitting with me, he'll be real quiet. He'll be real quiet. Because he don't want me to tell no city secrets. You know what I'm saying? I just trying to tell you, he don't want that smoke. That's our little man. Like him and Common and them, they younger than us. You understand? But Kanye robbed the city. G's in the city, we never liked him. Got on the record, Shot Town, the city of hella haters. What? Bro, we put you on and protected you. You a nerd. On the guys, bro. What? The city that made you? Nobody did nothing to you here. Nobody did nothing to Kanye in Riverdale out on the South. Nobody did nothing to Kanye. Kanye was protected. The city never did nothing to Kanye. All the city did was cheer for Kanye. Said that on his first album. He got on the song. What's the name of that song? As soon as he got on. Like on his first album, I think. I forgot what song he said that on. Right off the top. But he stole from everybody from the city. He stole from J Boogie. He stole from Michael Carter. He stole from Don C. Although he let Don C. been around him. You know what I'm saying? He stole from payroll. He hated on Virgil when Virgil was in the game before him and sold his shit for him. And MD. MD is out in Vegas right now. The African brothers was the one sold our clothes. How you gonna disrespect the African brothers, bro? The African brothers always looked out for us in Barbara Bay. Shout out to Barbara Bay. She always supported, even though she was big in the game. She always supported the up and coming designer. Barbara's cool. I don't usually name drop, but I want to be able to teach y'all something because Kanye talking. And I want to show you that everything I'm saying is absolute facts. Even going back when he signed Bump J and a couple of Kanye's associates when we went to Bob J came out the elevator with the all that jewelry on and we gave him a pass with all that jewelry on after you just do disrespect the city. But that wasn't Kanye, that was his associates was still though. I'm waiting on the elevator to go up. Bump had just got his new spot. Me and Ron going over there to set up his equipment for him. Elevator open. Merry Christmas. But we're like, well, nah. Because I ain't no robber, so I don't do robberies and stuff. But still, it was just, you with Kanye. We really wanted to send a message to Kanye. I mean, since you're trying to say we hella haters anyway, we should hate on him. So I don't like him. He never done nothing for the city. A billionaire. You got G Herbo got a school here. You got everybody come. This man ain't built a park for the kids to play in. So to me, he's full of shit. I don't like Kanye. That interview was trash. He get up there disrespecting the Kardashians, talking about white people got our kids and all that. Bro, what? DJ Academics said, well, you went and got with her, didn't you? And he's like, yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Bro, if you don't shut your goofy ass up, man, why he keep disrespecting white people? And he want to talk all this pro-black shit. Based on what, bro? What's so black about Kanye? So like he's black when it's convenient out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at this picture, you can see why he had mask and stuff over his head. You see that big pink part down the middle of his lip? You see how swollen his face is? You see that big pink part down the see? He's got facial issues. That's why he's got that thing over his face. But I'm just saying, bro. The interview was just tripping me out. Wrong 3 or 4 times. The whole interview was trash. Just him ranting. He wasn't talking about nothing. He don't never be talking about nothing. When I went and trashed him last time, I had people all in my chat saying I was wrong. I'm just doubling back, showing you I was right the whole time. I told y'all Kanye ain't shit. Kanye's a phony. The only thing he care about is self. He don't give a damn about black people. Okay? Kanye don't give a damn about us. I don't know how long black people you gonna keep caring for somebody that don't care about you. Okay? I don't know how we keep caring about somebody don't care about. He don't give a damn about the black community. If Kim would take him back, he'd run over there on his knees. And then at 1 minute he talking crazy about slavery and disrespecting us. Then the next minute he talk crazy about the Jewish people to try to make, and then y'all take him back. But just because he talking bad about them, he never apologized to you. So this whole idea, just because he talking about bad about them, he our friend, is bullshit. Because right there with Akademiks, he disrespected both groups right there. Akademiks had to check him and say, "Well, didn't you go get with her?" And then Akademiks say, "So what's up with you?" And said, and what did he say? He said, "I'm evil." Hey, go back and watch. Go back and watch what he said. He told Akademiks, he said, "I'm evil." Straight up. Go back and watch it. Go watch it. He wasn't kidding either. Ack was looking at him like, what? He told him straight to his face. He said, "I'm evil." It was deep. I was like, oh, okay, he got a little bit of demonic possession. You understand? I don't want to get into conspiracies, but when they got these medicines, they can grind up like dragon scales and put in there. But I don't want to go down that path. You have to go to my Patreon before I get into certain things I know I don't talk about. But when you're taking these pills and things, they can grind things up. You know what I'm saying? And they can take these scales and stuff. They could take them in a lab and duplicate them and they could put them in your food, put them in your drink, and surely put them in your medication. And so now you got these amoeba, these living, small living entities in your blood. You know what I'm saying? Cause like he ain't he when he do positive stuff is fraudulent. Like he did Jesus walk, but wasn't nobody named Jesus. The only person named Jesus was a demon. Christ's name wasn't Jesus. Jesus was a demon. It was spelled Jeezus. This was a guy that was walking around pretending he was Christ. Jesus is a guy that was after they crucified Christ. There was a guy named Jesus, Jeezus, was walking around, was a false prophet, and teaching a lot of what Peter was teaching. It's all right to eat pork and it's all right to sit down with the evil people and all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get into that. Some conversations I say try to catch me a sucker scholar out here that want to put up 5 racks. Yeah, the upside down cross on his shirt, which is Peter. That's Peter that Christ said called Satan. Peter told Christ told Christ, "Get behind me, Satan." They crucified Peter upside down. So when you see these Satanists with the upside down cross, that represent Peter. Then the Europeans took Jupiter and made a statue of Jupiter and said it was Peter. But that's not Peter. That's Jupiter. You know? But I watched the interview, back to the interview, and it was sad, but it was just crazy. It was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Charles? It was all over the place. He was just talking a bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Kanye been taken over by Satan, been promoting femininity to the black man. Okay. Been doing certain things. You understand? See, when you talk about um, should I go there? I guess. When you talk about, okay, the marriage, I'll go there. The marriage, when Kanye married Kim, there are people um, there are people that are in Hollywood that are uh, that keep secrets. I think that's a good way to say it. So there are people in Hollywood, and their job is to keep secrets. They make a fortune helping you with your career. Okay, so one of the hustles in Hollywood is helping people keep their careers. This is something they developed many, many years ago in order to protect their Hollywood celebrities. Okay, this is something that they've been doing many years. And it's a profession. It's a real profession. In Hollywood. They've been doing it way back with Rock Hudson and all of them for years because they had to be able to sell these artists, these movie stars. Back then, if your reputation got damaged, you hurt their money. They can't sell their movies or nothing because they were really selling an image. Okay. And so there are women that job are secret keepers. They will marry you in order for you to be who you are and nobody know it. So Kim Kardashian's mother, I mean, it's obvious that's what she was doing. Because you can see what Kris Jenner been the whole time. So what is Kim's job? She learned it from her mother. She'll keep your secrets, but you got to give them some babies so they can. You got to give them babies. They don't care if it's artificial inseminated or whatever. But you got to give them babies. That's a part of the ransom. That's what you got to pay to make sure that they can stay in your pockets. Because if you want them to keep that secret all that time, you know what they get for it. They can't trust your word that you'll stop paying them. So if they got your baby, they can take your child support. They can get the child support. So Kim is doing the same thing her mama was doing. Same thing. And this is why another reason there's so much rage in Kanye. I mean, they show you who they all are. I mean, they show you. It's a bunch of them. I got to go back and put a picture together I lost. I had a picture with all of them on there. You wouldn't believe how many people I had. I had Diddy on there. I had a bunch of them. They've all done it. They've all done it. I had a picture, you wouldn't believe it was like 40 of them on there. So there's a lot going on with Kanye. You know, even when they first got together, you know, one of the big problems was, you know, they didn't like him. They didn't like him being over there in France with that man he was over there with. They didn't like that. They're like, dude, look, you know, you want to marry this woman, you know, you cannot be over there doing all that. So this is why you see Kanye flying all over the place. But damn, he flying around. He ain't just flying around for nothing. Okay? He's visiting people. Okay? He's visiting people. No, he ain't just flying around for nothing. And so all that crazy stuff he talking, that's just what it is. Craziness. Because there's all type of issues going there. And, you know, he's within two societies. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to see him acting like he act because his life is in danger. He know too much. He know too much. He know things about the Jewish people that's got nothing to do with Judaism. That's why they trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? He knows a lot of things about a lot of men that their wives don't know. You understand? But they all sent signals out to let you know. You just had to watch them. They'll be painting their nails. They'll have skirts on. They'll do little things. Their marriages are just an arrangement to keep uh, an image of masculinity in order to sell records or do movies or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? They can't make no whole lot of money if they reveal themselves. You see, Old Town Road, see he gone? His career didn't do nothing, right? Because once he came out the closet, it was over for him. What record he had big since Old Town Road? None. You seen him at all? No. Because the public that's buying records and supporting, there's a lot of women. So it's for women's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a male, it's not males. If you're a rock star, you're an actor, you're an athlete, you're a rapper, the majority of your fans are females. You have men that check you out, that support you, but your fans are ladies. Ladies will be a fan of an athlete and never watch any of your sports. They just watch your commercials and see your when you take pictures and stuff like that. They'll go to the game with their man or go to the game and see you. They're not into the game, they into the men. They ain't into the game. So Kanye, I mean, in the mix, song streaming and all that, I mean, that's no big deal. Tupac songs are streaming, Biggie songs streaming, and they dead. So I mean, they not in the mix. You mean Spotify in the mix? You mean the streaming services is in the mix? The streaming services ain't got nothing to do with them. That's somebody else's money making that money. That's somebody else's money. And they intend to get that money long after you're gone. So that money got nothing to do with nothing with him. That music ain't got nothing to do with him doing all right. No, he's done. He's done. His career is over. That was so hard to watch him. Yeah, he goes into the studio and stuff like that. He's a genius. He still drops clothes and buy it because he's got this underground cult following. Like this satanic Christian cult. Like, you see how he be all those morbid looking clothes he be making? Y'all ain't noticed them clothes look like demons clothes? Y'all ain't noticed that it's big? It's like someone just be hanging off his gothic like monster clothes. Y'all ain't noticed that in monster looking shoes? Because Christianity is Satanism. No, they not trash. They market it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Mike. The clothes not trash. The clothes is fire to that market. Goth. If you into goth and black fingernails and shit, you gonna buy that shit. That's why that shit gonna sell out because it's a lot of It's a lot of demons, man. So when you start talking about popularity, you got popularity over here, and then you got popularity over here. So sometimes we think because he don't got that popularity over here, he's not popular, but he got that popularity over here. So he big. They listening to every word. Yeah, he's done though. Yeah, he's done. Because he keep disrespecting them Jewish people. He got to pay for that. Oh, he got to pay. He got to pay for keep bringing them up. He gonna pay for that. Oh, he gonna pay. He gonna pay. He should. He should mention them. He mentioned them in this. He keep mentioning them. He don't pay for that. That's why he's done. Yeah, he's done. Moorish, KKK, depends on which Moors you're talking about. If you're talking about the Moors that kill their own people, it could be Moorish. If you're talking about the evil Moors that work with the European to destroy their own people, depends on which Moor you're talking about. If you're talking about the Moors that work with the Roman Catholic Church, yeah. You ever notice nobody really never talks about the Moors, what they believed? They just talk about they sailed to America. They never go into their belief system. You ever notice that? What do they believe though? One thing you notice is they don't believe in no kind of God. You'll never hear no Moorish God, nothing. They kind of try to act like they with Islam, but you never hear them talk about Allah or nothing like that. They, what's their beliefs? What's their religious beliefs? That's what I'm trying to tell you. They don't talk about it. Think about it. But yeah, the interview was, it was like watching. You know, there's certain mental illness that allows demonic possession. So this why when the healers like Christ and them, they had to heal your mental illness and cast out the demons. Because it's like when you got a strong mental mind, you can keep evil out of your body. But when your mind is messed up, now you're a wide open vessel to be possessed by demons. So that's why you seen Kanye, go back and watch it. He looked at academics and say, so why you do this and that? And Kanye say, because I'm evil. It was real deep, man. Academics got spooked. Go back and look at academics' face when he said that. Academics are like, why this and that? Kanye said, because I'm evil. No hesitation or nothing. Go back and watch it. Kanye, he asked Kanye something, and Kanye said, "Because I'm evil." And I think he said it twice. I'm evil. Straight. Who watched the interview? I just watched it before I came over here. Why you think I got this looking so dark? Don't you see how I got his name? You know, y'all gotta watch me. I'll be showing y'all stuff. Look how I got his name. Yay, all evil. And look, look how why you think I got him in the dark storm? Why you think I got the picture so dark? You know what I mean? I be giving y'all game just with my visuals, because in ancient Kemet we believe the picture's worth 1,000 words. Just look at this picture. Academics couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. Academics was ready to go. Academics was ready to go. With Kanye, so I gotta go. Academics like cool. You know what I mean? Do I think the women got no? I think when you get the brain trauma, you know, I think when you get the brain trauma mixed with his sexual preference, which I won't get into, you know, if you okay, you have life and you have death. If a man and a woman have a sexual encounter, she get pregnant and she give birth to life. So being sexual with a woman, a heterosexual sex, you could look at as life, and you could look at life as righteous. Okay, what about the other kind of sex? What if I want to have sex with you where waste come out? Is that righteous? I ain't trying to judge nobody or nothing. I'm just saying. So, what side is that on? I'm just saying. You only got two sides. Now you got to go study witchcraft and what the witches used to do and all that. I'll probably do that on my Patreon in May. So join my Patreon for $20. I'll do a couple of videos of that over there, and we'll get into that. I can't talk about all that over here. But witches, I can't say witches wasn't riding the broom. When you see the broom between the women's witches' legs flying, no, that's not. That's not what they was doing with the broom. Okay, that's not what they was doing with the broom. They had this stuff they can wipe on their body and hallucinate and think they're flying and all of that. There's a lot of drugs involved. What's not true? What's not true, Alden? How old are you? And then what's not true? Because let me see if you got any age. I got to know some form of studying. But seeing that your pictures are cartoon, I wouldn't take you too serious. Because if you had knowledge, you would never. You know what I'm saying? So what's not true? Because everything I'm saying is true. Now, if you got 5,000, and we get somebody, you can come put the money up, and I'll debate you, take your money, because I'll take your 5,000. Oh, okay. Because you said that's not true. I'm trying to figure what's not true. You cannot be coming over here telling people we not cool if you come in my audience and tell them I don't know what I'm talking about. So I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all think you can come in the audience and say he don't know what he talk about, and we gonna be cool. We're not gonna be cool if you do that. I don't do the fake cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? In the streets of Chicago, you cool or you not. And if there's any sign you're not cool, you in trouble if you don't get away from us. And that's for you young people too. Anytime you see somebody slide you a little bit with, get the hell away from them. Because they really is against you. That's on a whole nother side now, especially you brothers. When you out and you're around a lot of dudes and you see dudes like dude kind of dig at you a little bit, that's your cue right there. That's your cue to get away from. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm talking about is high level. He don't know nothing what I'm talking about. Trust me. Okay. So you the age of my oldest daughter. You think I listen to her? So in other words, you old enough to be my baby. That I could have hit your mama based on your age. Your mama was out there, right? That I could have knocked your mama because I'm 67. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I could have hit your mama. You might be my son. So have some respect over here. Okay? And he could come back. Come back tomorrow. Go take a nap. You know what I'm saying? You know we don't let you stay up that late. It's 6:30. It's time for you to go to bed. You gotta go to school, little boy. Little boy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to bed. You gotta go to school tomorrow. Go get your school clothes ready, little boy. Go get your school clothes ready. Stay out of grown people's business. Ain't nobody taught you. Shut up with grown people is talking. Y'all, I'm not. Listen, real talk. You see me, what? I can't even tell y'all everything I want to say because YouTube is funny. So I can't go into the details of what I'm hinting at and I'm saying. Because you got the LGBTQ community out here that I can't go into. They don't really know what they're doing. So it wouldn't be fair to say stuff that they might be doing and they might not know where it come from. Even you heterosexuals are participating in darkness and don't know it, doing all kind of animal sacrifices on your stove, okay? Consuming abominations. You know what I'm saying? So, Kanye, when you have a mental illness, right? Okay, let's put it like this. Let's go back to the mental illness. When you have demons out here, right? Ghost, right? Now, ghosts are spirits. That's why I say I'm not spiritual. In your body, you have a soul. Your soul never floats around. The soul is connected to the DNA. So the soul stays in your DNA, wherever it's at, right? Then you have a spirit, but the spirit is evil. So you don't have no spirit in you. A spirit is something outside, all right? A spirit it is from something that's cursed, that's not allowed to have a body. So if you do too much evil, then when you pass away, your spirit is just here wandering because you're not allowed to reincarnate it. reincarnate. So it's a spirit. Now those spirits are evil. Those spirits need a body. Now, if you got all your sanity and everything, you're going to be doing things that's going to prevent an evil spirit from getting inside of you. But if you start acting crazy or have any mental illnesses, then you could be possessed by demons. You understand? So this is why the holy men and women, if you had some mental illnesses, right? They had to cure your mental illness and run out the demons. These would be two jobs. If you don't have mental illness and you just out here doing a lot of bad and got possessed, all they got to do is cast out the demons. And so with Kanye's mental illness, he can't ward off evil because technically he's unconscious. You understand? You have to be conscious to ward off evil. When you become unconscious in any kind of way, whether it's from mental illness, drugs, alcohol, because what do they call alcohol? Spirits. And I told you spirits are evil. So they call alcohol spirits because if you drink enough of it, then spirits can enter you because you don't have the attention span to ward them off. You're drunk. You're a wide open vessel. So there's certain things make you a wide open vessel. Drugs, alcohol, certain sexual acts put you in a trance of negativity and you're wide open. And mental illness. That's why so many children with mental illness, they have to commit them because sometimes they'll tear up the house. And he like, well, he's got this and that. And he be acting crazy. That's because he's demonically possessed. And then so demonic possession ain't like one demon. A whole bunch of them will come in there because they can't find a body and they need a body. They need a host. They call it a host. So if you watch Kanye, you'll see him flicker. And one of them things in him told Akademiks, I'm evil. Because it's a bunch of them in there talking. I'm telling you, man. I've seen demonic possession right here. Some of y'all watched me before I told the story. I'm not going to tell it no more till my book come out, but it's not going to be in my book. But I've dealt with demonic possession. And it deals with and mental illness. It's any kind of way it can get in your body, it'll take advantage of it. If you're slow, if it's mental illness, if you nasty, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Kanye is dealing with. That's why he's so dark like that. Anybody can see that he's a Satanist. He just don't know it. You know, he was all over the place, like possession. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be careful because you can be around some witches and don't know they witches. I'm not saying they witches. I'm not saying they not witches. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying? You could be around witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. What do witches look like? Both of these brothers is crazy. What's the odd that both of them got issues? Kanye's on drugs. What's that they talking about he taking? He taking something they say he constantly taking. And the other brother, what kind of drugs he was on? Just look, it's a whole bunch of women and the mama. And the mama was with him. That was a her. And the mama knew it was a her, but didn't tell nobody. He's on the nitros, yeah. hmm Yes, he's on stuff. Yes, his clothes is all dark. His religious services is dark. It don't be like no righteous religious service. It be like a cult celebrating the crucifixion of somebody, which is people just don't understand that Christianity is like Satanism. It's all about the blood of Jesus. If you listen to it, it's creepy as hell. Take, eat the body of Christ. Take, drink the blood of Christ. Like, bro, that's the cult. I don't want to eat Christ and drink Christ's blood. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just think that preacher locked them people in this church and said, bring some money up here. That man locked them people in his church. Showed them who he really was. I know they was terrified. I know they couldn't believe it. He locked them in the church. So it was a lot in that interview I can't talk about. I'll go and do another uncut one and I'll just put it on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? I'll do another one and I'll put it on Patreon and I'll go more into the dark side of what you've seen, the outfit and the whole thing. Because he's not in control. Okay. That's why people, when we look at Kanye, we're like, why are you doing all of this? Like, bro, you're a billionaire. Like academics looking at him like, bro, you just trying to get back to a billion. Ain't you scared they're going to take it all again? He ain't in control. He not in control. The First World War was after the Berlin Conference when white people invaded Africa from all angles. Unless you don't count Africa as the world. Because you had a lot of world wars. You had the Japanese had a world war when the Japanese went and just tried to kill everybody. They invaded the Chinese. So there's been world wars, you know. And there's a lot of history they didn't got rid of. Why folks can't just get money and chill? Get money and chill how? Getting money and chill don't even go together. When you get money, you don't get a chance to chill. So that's why. I ain't never got no money and chill. I always was grinding. Well, no chill. Or get money and chill is oxymoron. Doesn't exist. Not for the common man and woman. The way they got it designed is the people like Kanye, when they get the money, the lifestyle that's necessary when they get the money costs more money. So, in other words, let's say you, okay, let's say it's like me and I'm become a big artist. Now, once I become a big artist, I start selling records, money start coming in. Now, it would be cool if I could keep living the same way I was living with the same expenses. But guess what I got to do now? I got to change everything. So it costs you a lot of money to make some money. You understand? It costs you a lot of money to make some money. So right off the top, once you make money, the making of money puts you in a whole different spending bracket, which means you don't got as much as you had. You understand? So even though you made more money, it's not as much. If I'm here and you here and you make more money, I'm gonna look at you like, why you ain't living straight? Because I'm only gonna be looking at you from the money I'm making. But the money you making, you're not as rich as you look like to me. To me, you look super rich. But now you're in another financial category and your expenses would be unbelievable to me. So now that's not really enough money. So when you get $2 or $3 million, you only got enough money to last a year or two. Sometimes not at all. You don't have enough money like that. The only way you can get millions and millions of dollars and chill is you would have to not let nobody know you got the money. Because if anybody know you got the money, you won't have enough security to live around where people got less money. And that starts at thousands. You young, you know what I'm saying? And you want to hustle and you start slinging on the block and you start putting money in the shoebox and you cool, you're on the block, you can wear your little regular Dickies and your sneakers or whatever. You get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You get 10,000. You still kind of cool. But when you get up 20, 30, 40, 50,000, everything start changing. You know what I'm saying? Everything start changing. Because now you got to babysit the money. You never had to babysit no money before. So now the money owns you. The money owns you. Because you have to protect the money. Where you going to put the money? How you going to protect the money? Then if you buy stuff, now you got to protect the stuff. Nobody was looking at you in your little Chevy or whatever. Now you got some money, you got a better car. Now you got enemies just because of the car. You got enemies you don't even know. If anybody knows you got money, now your wife is acting different. Your wife's family feel like it's her money. So now you taking care of your wife, you get her a better car, you get her some nice clothes, and now the family feel entitled to whatever she can get from you. Now that nice car you bought your wife, her family wants her to come drive them around in it. They want, okay, and they don't want to respect it's yours. In their mind, it's hers. They don't have to respect like, oh, her husband worked hard and got her this. No, they ain't looking at it like that. They're like, girl, come do this, come do that, come do that. You look up, your wife is always with the family. When you meet her, this happened to me personally. She ain't with the family. She might go see them once every 2 weeks. You get some money, she up there every 3, 4 days. She visit. They are all in the car as soon as you get it. So everything started to change, right? You understand? Everything started to change. And as that money grow, you know, your whole life changed. Your life ain't the same no more. You have to increase your security and all that. Now, if you're a banker or something like that, you can move into a little neighborhood that got bankers or people like that, and you kind of all right. If you making, 150,000 a year, 175,000 a year, you can move where everybody's making that much, and then you're not elevating no more. Really, you're just happy with that. You'll kind of be all right. But if you're going up into a million, then 2 million, and 10 million, I don't know. You can't live over there with the $150,000 people if you got 10, 20 million. You can't live over there. You got to go live where the millionaires is at now. Now, all over the world, China and everywhere, they trying to find out how to hack your accounts. Your credit card is hot. You got to have extra security on top of security anytime you log in to anything. You're a straight target. You're a straight target. Don't you dare buy stuff to reflect your income. Kanye didn't fail at being a father. Kanye married into a situation where he wasn't gonna never be a father. Kanye was pimped. Because what kind of woman gonna have all them babies by you other than to rob your money? So he married. The Kardashians never had no good intentions. Kim didn't have no good intentions. How she have all them babies and still look like that? He went and got involved with some witches. That's what he did, allegedly. When it comes to fatherhood, it's set up for to make you look like a bad father because they give the wife, they give the women all the power because the women is suckers. The women is the weaker of the two. And so if the system wants to exploit the family, they give the woman the most power. If they give the man the power, the system can't exploit you. So they're gonna give the power to Kim. And then she could determine what kind of father you are. Because how you gonna say somebody ain't a good father? They gotta go to her to see the babies. Because a good father ain't got to beg her to see no babies. So Jody, if you got somebody's baby, how they a father when you is the puppet of the Babylon system and they gotta go through you. And then you want to turn around and say you need a strong man when really you're blocking his strength because you're a puppet of the system. The woman is the puppet. They use her to make the man look weak. Basically, she could determine if he looked like a good father or not. Now, when you got women speaking on fatherhood, that show you I'm right there because Jody don't know nothing about being no man or being no father. She just talking out her ass. You understand? She don't know. She just talking. She have no idea what the hell she talking about. Which she proving my point. She's dominant over here with a man that really have that's a father. Because there's something going on with her and her baby's daddies or her daddy. And she wants to put that in, you know what I'm saying? That's why you see her trolling like that. You know what I'm saying? So this system is is only pro father for white men. It's anti father for other people. It's designed for the white man to be the dominant. It's designed where he's in control and he could throw his wife out and he could put his wife in a minor position because he's the judge and he's all that. Then the man he most hates, the person he most hates is the black man. So the white man is dominant in society. So when you're in a society where the white man is dominant, you're a black man, then guess what? You're going to be pushed down. He's going to put your woman before you. So it's going to be the white man, the white woman, then the black man, the black woman, then the black man. So Jody is a woman, so she don't have to compete with the white man. She don't know what she's talking about. What I'm talking is over her head because she's a puppet of the white man in his system. Everything she got comes from the white man. Her car, her electricity, her home, her transportation, even her YouTube account. Is the white man on this? It's all his stuff. And if you don't say or do what he wants you to do, he'll take you off it. You understand? Anyway, we appreciate your rant. Come back tomorrow, okay? Come back tomorrow. We get it. You don't like Kanye. We get it. We get it. But some people would say you got issues because you don't know him, and there's issues with you. But come back tomorrow. You definitely got some type of there's something else going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's something else. Come back tomorrow, though, sweetheart. Because any psychiatrist will know it's more to it than that. Because how you gonna hate somebody you don't know? Where you get your information from? Off of social media from TMZ. And TMZ, you know what I'm saying? TMZ, you see them guys. So, TMZ is a couple of some gossiping men that you kind of never see with no women. So, the whole premise of TMZ, I think what they got like one black dude that be on there. You know what I'm saying? The TMZ is about as racist as it comes. It's all white men and women. It's nobody else. There's no Asians. There's nobody. It's just white people talking about everybody's business. And of course, they're going to be so fair and balanced. That's where you get your information from. Every time you turn on, you can see they're full of shit. You can see, oh, let's look at these guys. The story's always bent. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand black people. So any story about us, they always try to flip it to the worst that they can. And they make a lot of money off of exploiting our culture and what's going on with us. Them, Vlad, Adam 22, they make a lot of money off of us. And if they can help us go down, they'll do it. So they're definitely out. I remember when the other little weird white comedian was dating Kim and how TMZ was just rubbing it in Kanye's face. They were showing Kim's with him now. Kim's with him now. I seen it. It was obvious what they was trying to do. I seen it. When she was with the weird guy, the ugly white guy, the weird looking white guy. And TMZ was just posting every day that she was with this guy. Yeah, the Davidson guy. She wasn't sleeping with that guy. That was just publicity stunt. Just to rub Kanye the wrong way. Y'all really believe she was messing with Pete Davidson? Come on. Kim, anything she do, you can't believe anything they say about her because it's all publicity stunts. So if I'm a white guy, I might be gay or whatever. I'll say, Kim, let's go hang out. We'll make that arrangement for media and stuff like that. And then you'll see me pick her up on a date looking like we're going on a real date. This Hollywood. The dates don't necessarily be real. They'll make you think they sleeping together. Whatever. It's whatever to get the media press. You can't believe none of that. You can't believe nothing you see in the media. I mean, Kim, you know, I mean, I hear Alexis, but the fact is, Kim pimping shit. She doing what her mama told her to do. She got a bag. She found the lane, had a whole bunch of artificial insemination, had his babies, and she good for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? Pimp the hell out of his ass. Mama taught him how to do it. Yeah, that mama, like I said, the mama taught him the game. The mama mastered the game in uh, helping gay men hide their sexuality, and there's a lot of money in that because you got to understand it was taboo to be gay. So when you go back to Cary Grant and Rock Hudson and all them, if any of them was gay back then, that was like, oh no, your career is over. So they got to find you a wife because no woman is going to want to watch you do a love scene with a woman if they know you don't like women. So now your career is done because you can't be believable when you play a role. You already got to play a different role. You can't be Cary Grant. You're Cary Grant, but you're playing a married man or you're playing a part. So you already got to act enough to make them forget what you did in the last movie. So if you're good enough in this movie you was a gangster, in this movie you're a cowboy, if you act good enough, they could believe it. But if they find out you gay, they ain't gonna be able to overlook that. Back then, sex was something they didn't talk about that much. I don't know what he got to pay her, but I know she's a multimillionaire, and he is too. But you got to pay. And he's mad because he know what they finna do with them girls. They're gonna teach him how to be pimps just like them. And he mad. They pimping. That's what they doing. And Kanye's phony. He want to talk all this racial stuff. You know what I'm saying? And academics say, well, you went and got with her. You want to talk about these white people, this and that. I didn't like that. I was like, Kanye, shut your phony ass up. How you going to disrespect white people when your children's mamas and aunts and everybody is white? What? You've never liked no dark skinned women, okay? Fucking weirdo. Kanye don't like nobody like his mother. He got low self esteem. And he thought if we get with them, he was better. Look, he think that's the big score. That's what he think. He think that's bigger than a black woman. Oh man, look. So now he's all over the place, setting himself up for, a horrible downfall. Everybody knows, anybody smart know where this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Look at Ray J. Ray J got mental problems now too. Look at Ray J crazy too. Look at Ray J. Ray J crazy now. Y'all ain't notice it? Like you gotta be careful, man. These people be really working magic, man. They really be working magic. Like sex magic is real. If you're not careful, a woman can take your soul from you, have you where you can't sleep. Even when she leave you, you won't be able to sleep. You won't be able to think or nothing. So y'all think vampires just suck blood, but y'all don't understand sperm is blood. Sperm can make babies, so that's blood. I'm just saying. For real. So he's in a big mess with the brain trauma and all that. He's in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, certain stuff. I wish YouTube would have a YouTube X where you could just really have the next level of people over here and really adult, and then have adult commercials over here. Then YouTube needs to step up. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Charles. You got witches and you got warlocks out here. So we looking at Kanye like basically self destruct. You know, it's just what I said. I had all kind of mixed emotions because I don't like him, but it was still sad. DJ Academics just didn't know what to do. She asked you, was you afraid of witches? You said no. I know, but I mean, y'all brothers, you can't let no woman just cook for you because she gonna put the stuff in your food. She gonna put a spell on you, and that gets all into veganism and stuff like that. Because when you eat plant based, You eating a lot of spell breakers. You eating a lot of herbs and stuff that have the opposite effect of the blood and all that. So they dealing with blood and chemicals and stuff. And when you're dealing with herbs, you're dealing with the natural cure against all that. That's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, if you go out on a date with a woman, you're a vegan, and you really start liking her, she'll try to ask you, do you want to try her fish? Or she'll try you. You know what I'm saying? To see which one of y'all is going to be the dominant. Who's going to be dominant? Are you going to slip and go her way? Or are you going to stand strong and she going to come your way? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to talk about this. It was sad. It was sad. I don't like Kanye, but it was definitely sad. He's worse. You know what I'm saying? Although he comes in and goes out, they be having him on strict medication. He be flying all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And he's got this big name, so he could drop some shoes or something and make he can make millions just like that. He could just be a billionaire just like that because he's high profile. He got a lot of talent, but he's all full of turmoil. In the video with Akademiks, he was just all over the place. It was totally incoherent. You couldn't keep up with what he was talking about. He was just all over the place. He was like, dude paid Jim Jones $2 million just to set up to meet Kanye, and he was like, Jimmy didn't give me nothing. But why would Jimmy have to give you something? You a billionaire. It's only $2 million. Why'd you know what I'm saying? Jimmy riding with you, he asked you for a favor, he make $2 million. What the hell do you care? You throwing that away. You know what I'm saying? They got him on the crazy meds, and when you're on the meds, Jay, I've been there. When you're on the meds, you like this. You get a little crazy. When you take the meds, you ain't gonna go back here. You're gonna go only right here. If you mix the meds, you ain't gonna go here. You're gonna go there. Then when you take the meds again, you ain't gonna go. You're gonna go here. When you miss the meds, you're gonna go there. 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 Then you're gonna commit suicide. Because every time you take them, you don't go back to where you was. And every time you don't take them, you don't go back to where you was. You go higher. You go less lower, and you go higher. Less lower, higher. Less lower, higher. That's how they work. That's how they work. I'm telling you what I've seen. And I've seen demonic possession and all of that. I've seen it personally. I was in a relationship with that situation. And I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. It's real. And you be saying they crazy. No, don't be crazy. They be possessed. That's somebody different talking to you. That's not them. I mean, I've seen Kanye. I've seen at least three characters, maybe four, in him. That wasn't. There was four. He got at least four in him. At least four beings is in him. He's possessed. But that's like a whole nother level. It really don't make no sense to say what he need to do because he don't got the mental. He don't got that to do that. So that's why I ain't been making no suggestions of what he should do, Michael, because he's not at that level where he gonna do nothing. He's not the only way. The only way. Kanye can do nothing. Somebody would have to lock him up and force him to clean him out. It would have to be done by force. I've seen it.